Sometimes, life takes everything from you. The people you loved, the plans you made, the version of yourself you used to be, gone, just like that. You sit there wondering, why me? Why now? Why did everything I built just collapse? But what if I told you that nothing is really lost? That maybe you're just being redirected? You see, life has this strange, silent way of protecting you. It removes people who would have slowed you down. It closes doors that would have destroyed you later. It creates distance, not to punish you, but to prepare you. And I know it hurts, because when you're in the middle of it, all you see is loss. You see the messages that stopped coming, the calls that never happened, the dreams that fell apart. But behind that silence, something is shifting. Something is redirecting. Maybe you didn't lose that job. Maybe you were meant to find your purpose. Maybe that relationship didn't end. Maybe it was never your forever. Maybe you were never falling apart. Maybe you were falling into place. The universe doesn't always send blessings wrapped in comfort. Sometimes it sends pain, confusion, and silence, because that's the only way you'll move. Every heartbreak, every failure, every moment that broke you was actually redirecting you towards something you can't see yet. So stop blaming yourself for what left. Maybe it wasn't meant to stay. Maybe it was only meant to teach. And one day, when you've healed, when you've grown, you'll look back and realize it was never a loss. It was the universe whispering, you deserve better. Keep walking. So wherever you are right now, keep going, even if it's slow, even if it's dark, because you're not lost. You're being redirected. And maybe right now, that redirection doesn't make sense. Maybe you're walking through nights that feel endless, sitting in rooms that used to be loud with laughter, now quiet, now empty. You keep scrolling through old messages, searching for signs, replaying moments that no longer exist. But one day, you'll understand. One day, you'll wake up and realize that the pieces you thought were gone were actually being rearranged to build someone stronger, wiser, and softer at the same time. You'll see that the people who left were never your ending. They were just your beginning. You'll see that the silence that broke you was the same silence that rebuilt you. Because growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in the spaces where you question everything. Your worth, your path, your purpose. It happens in the dark, when no one's clapping, when no one's watching, when it's just you, your pain, and your reflection asking, who am I now? And slowly, piece by piece, you'll answer that question, not with words, but with strength, not with plans, but with peace. You'll learn that sometimes losing yourself was the only way to meet who you truly are. You'll stop fighting the past and start listening to what it was trying to teach you. You'll realize that peace doesn't come when everything's perfect. It comes when you finally accept that imperfection is still progress. And maybe that's the real meaning of healing, not forgetting what happened, but understanding why it had to. Because every heartbreak, every disappointment was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to introduce you to a version of yourself you never knew existed. You'll begin to notice small things, the way morning light feels softer now, the way music hits different when you're alone, the way silence no longer scares you. You'll realize that healing isn't loud, it's quiet, subtle, and patient. It's the strength to get up again, even when no one sees your effort. One day, you'll stop checking who left. You'll stop chasing explanations. You'll understand that closure doesn't always come from others. Sometimes, it's something you give to yourself. You'll stop asking why me and start whispering thank you. Because without the storm, you would have never learned how to stand in the rain. Without the heartbreak, you would have never learned how to love yourself first. The universe was never punishing you, it was preparing you. It was making room for something purer, calmer, and more aligned with your soul. So when you look back, don't hate the path that broke you, thank it, because it led you here, to this moment, to this strength, to this silence that finally feels like peace. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're becoming, and that's the most beautiful part of all. Maybe this chapter isn't about chasing, maybe it's about surrendering. Maybe it's about learning to sit still and trust that what's meant for you will always find you, not through force, not through fear, but through peace. You don't need to beg for love that's meant for you. You don't need to chase what's already yours. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply stop running. Let life unfold. Let people leave. Let time heal what your heart can't understand yet. Because one day, everything will make sense. The sleepless nights, the tears you hid, the prayers you thought went unheard, they were all shaping you, quietly, painfully, beautifully, into who you were always meant to be. So take a deep breath and let go of what's already gone, because what's coming is something your heart has been waiting for all along. When you finally reach that peace, you won't look back with anger, you'll look back with gratitude. You'll realize that what broke you actually rebuilt you differently. You'll see that endings aren't meant to destroy you, they're meant to redirect your path. Every soul you meet leaves something behind, a lesson, a scar, a truth, but not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some people are only chapters, and that's okay. You're allowed to outgrow people, to outgrow versions of yourself, because becoming who you are means saying goodbye to who you were. And I know that goodbye hurts, but every ending creates space for something new to begin. So tonight, if you feel lost, if you feel like you're walking alone through a storm, remember this: even storms have direction, even broken compasses point somewhere, even shattered hearts can still love again. You were never meant to have it all figured out. You were meant to learn, to feel, to break, and then to rebuild, stronger, softer, and wiser than before. Maybe you're not lost. Maybe you're being rewritten, and the new version of you is someone the old one could never imagine. You're evolving, you're healing, and most importantly, you're finally learning to trust the timing of your life. So keep going, even if it's slow, even if it's dark, even if no one claps for you, because growth is silent. And one day, the same silence that hurts you will become the peace that saves you. I'm your lost anonymous, and if this spoke to something deep inside you, like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear it tonight, and subscribe, because maybe the next video is your story, and it might just change your life.